Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Heman. I make videos on motherhood, arts and crafts and photography. So if these are topics of interest to you, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll post videos every week, and today's topic is on mistakes most mothers make, and that includes myself. First advice is do what works for you and your baby. Everyone will give you advice and you'll get a lot of them from your parents, from your in-laws, from your pediatrician, from your relatives. But remember, every mother is different and so is every baby. So do hear all the advices but see what works for you, because what may work for one baby may not work for another baby. So you do have to take every advice that you get with a pinch of salt and test it out. And also remember, when it comes to suggestion, it's not like one is right and the other is wrong. But the important thing to remember is you have to find what works for you and your family and for your baby. Second thing is, know that it's a lot of work. When I was pregnant, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to deliver the baby, I'm going to take a few days off and recover, and then I'm going to get back to work. But then that's not how it works. It's much more complicated than that. In my experience, motherhood is tough than it appears. In the first few months, especially until the baby starts having the solids, you will not get a solid 4 to 6 hours stretch of sleep, and you are busy addressing the needs of the baby 24/7, either if it's food or diaper change or a nap or a bath or massage or tummy time or playtime, and the list goes on. And this is apart from the daily chores and your personal care. And especially if you're pumping mom, on top of this, you again then have to spend time for pumping, and then your schedule may not match with the baby's schedule, and you have to clean all those pump pads. So it just adds another level of difficulty. But then remember, you have to be optimistic and remember that this too shall pass, and you'll start gaining much more sanity when the baby is 6 months old and they start on the solids. And also that's the time where you start reducing the number of pumps, so it does get much more manageable later. So in those initial days, try to keep the outside activities to a minimum until you really have a good routine established with the baby. Next thing is make time for yourself. As I just told you the big list of things that you may have to do, there will really not be much time. But then when I say take care of yourself, this is what I really mean. Find something in the day that helps you relax. For me, it was a time when I was pumping. That would be my quiet time. I also used to use this time to talk to other mothers so that I can get some tips and pointers. Also, you should talk to someone who will really help you relax. For most mothers, this is the time when babies sleep. And as my daughter grew, this was the time when I would put her in the jumper room, and that's the time that I would get for myself. And again, it will not be the same every day. Some days you may not be able to get this time, and most days you may be able to get this time. Even if it's like 5 minutes of praying, it's just time that helps you center, and this is something that will help you keep your sanity. And remember, baby is really a full-time job. There is never a time where you would stop being a parent or stop being a mom. Even when they are like 18 years or even when they're like 40 years, you would still feel towards them like a mom. Take lots of pictures of your kid. Sometimes in those initial days, it's so tiring and so long, and you get so caught up in your day-to-day activities that you may never get time to really relax, to enjoy those small moments. But do capture them in a camera, and you can always revisit them whenever you have a little bit of time, or even few years down the lane. These will be those memories that you want to cherish and revisit. Especially those first months are very precious. I started working 2 months after having my baby, so for me, these videos and photos were very helpful. Even when I was at work, I used to see all the videos and photos, and it would help me relax. So don't let time fly by, and do capture everything in those photos and videos. Next thing is ask for help, be it your mom or mother-in-law or a spouse. Ask for help when you need, especially in those initial days when you have to do the middle of night feeding. You can pump for that session, and then your spouse or partner can help you feed the baby. And you can ask your parents or in-laws to help you with the chores. And don't try to do everything in those initial days. Sleep when the baby sleeps. And yes, all the cleaning and all the chores that you need to do, those can wait. And in those initial days, cut yourself some slack, because it is a lot of work. And if you ever feel low, make sure you talk to your doctor, because they can give you some medical advice on how to handle those circumstances. Next thing is, don't compare. All moms are different, everyone's pregnancy experience is different, their delivery experience is different, and also every baby is going to be very different. So don't compare your experiences to others, nor your kids to others. Don't worry too much, as it's okay, because you cannot predict all of these things, how your delivery experience is going to be, how the baby is going to be, how your pregnancy experience is going to be. Some of these things you do not have control on. And remember, the only person who knows baby the most or the best is you and your partner, not your parents, not your pediatrician, and not your relatives. It's you and your partner, because you see the baby every day and you pay attention to them more than anybody else. And a lot of times, even if you have done all the research, talked to all the people that you know of, read all those blogs, watched all those YouTube videos, there will still be a lot of things that you may not know about parenting. And that is okay, and that is normal. You cannot practice being a parent ahead of time. So don't be hard on yourself for not knowing everything, because no one can. And also, each baby is going to be different. What works for one baby may not work for another baby. So be proud of yourself and what you have done. And it does take time for you to feel normal and get back to the state of control. For me, it took 8 months to feel that sense of control, and that may be more or less for you, but be gentle on yourself and give yourself that time. And a lot of times we have this imagination of how our pregnancy is going to be and how our delivery is going to be, but things may not always work as planned. And especially in those initial days, you're going through so many physiological, so many emotional, and so many psychological changes within yourself, like engorgement, breastfeeding, latching issues, and there is the stress of jaundice, and then there's breast pumping. So it's a lot going for parents. As women, we go through a lot, and we are hard on ourselves for things not happening as expected. But remember, it's very important to manage your expectations. Yes, you may expect something when you're pregnant, and things may not always happen that way, but it's beyond your control. And that's when you have to remember that you have to manage your expectations. The most important question that you need to ask yourself is if the baby is healthy and happy. And if they are, then you're doing a good job. Yes, they'll hit their milestones sooner or later. And yes, you'll get to those chores sooner or later. Remember, each day is going to be different. When you have babies, you can plan your day to be a certain way, but it may not always be the case. For example, if you plan to leave the house at 8 p.m. and suddenly you realize your child has pooped, and then now you have to change the diaper and then leave. So yes, you may leave your house at 8:15 instead of 8. But things like this are something that you should expect. So do expect the unexpected and take one day at a time. Yes, you'll be in pain during postpartum and expect it. Postpartum recovery takes time, and as I mentioned, based on again the mode of delivery, if it's C-section or normal, your pain may be more or less, and your recovery may take longer time or less time, and some days it may feel like it's never going to end. But please be positive, it will end and this will pass. And a lot of times you will find yourself asking questions like, am I a good mother? Am I cooking fresh food? Are they growing well? Are they eating enough or pooping enough? But the fact that you're asking these questions is a sign that you're a good mother. Remember, nobody is born a mother, you become a mother. This also shows that you're very invested in your child. So be kind to yourself and remember that recovery does take time and things are always changing and evolving. So give yourself some grace. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope some of these tips are very helpful for you. If you're pregnant, then this is something that you should know or hear about ahead of time. I did not know about a lot of these things, and it does feel like an uphill when you have the baby in front of you and then you're learning all of these and you're trying to manage your expectations. But I really hope this information was helpful for you and at least help you ease into the motherhood journey. Again, I'm sending out love to all the mothers. If you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and please do check other videos in my motherhood playlist. My intention is to make this process easier for at least some of the mothers out there. And do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.